barracks now and 2 reactors, so he's going to be pumping out a lot of Marines, and 2 more barracks coming out. So does he have combat shield? Yes, he does have combat shield, stim, and concussive shells already done. So his infantry is ready to go. He's got level 2 upgrades finished already, and level 3... oh, no, wait. He's got a second... Oh, there we go. Level 2 is just about 3/4 of the way done. And at this time, it looks like he was trying to do another drop, but there were just too many units there to prevent that, so he was forced to retreat, although he's going to come and drop down here while Lalush is looking to take a 4th and a 5th base. And that they're about the same time. Well, no, the 4th base was started quite a bit earlier. It does get cancelled. It doesn't get destroyed. These Zerglings are going to try to clean up, but I don't think they can take that force. They're going to need those roaches to reinforce them. And BratOK, smart play there by picking the units up and taking them away at the same time. Wow, BratOK's really making me focus on the minimap a lot here, dropping another 2 medevacs full of infantry. And Lush does see this because he's got an overseer here. And wow, a Baneling just exploded and took out almost a full medevac full of units. The 1 medevac was able to retreat with his units though, so not a complete loss there. And wow, another drop down here at the 4th base at the 6 o'clock position. And once again, BratOK, that medevac with 14 health is just a baller this game. Dropping units all over, picking them up while they're hot, and this time he is not. Does that mean he's focusing in another area? It looked like he was going to drop up in the main base again, and he was diverting his attention, and diverting my attention. Blast you, BratOK. Forcing me to multitask. Who'd have thunk it? So a little bit of a lull here in the game right now. We do have even more drops, so BratOK just abusing the medevac and marine play right now with Marauders as support, and the army tabs look fairly even. Of course, Lalush does have a little bit stronger army on the gas front, but that's mostly going to be due to Corruptors, the Infestors, and any Banelings that they do have. Banelings are a very expensive unit for what they're worth, or for what they are. Although I don't know if he's got many of those on the field right now. Looking at the units tab, oh, it looks like, wow, Lalush is getting ballsy, trying to take a base right below where BratOK dropped his units, but once again, retreating with that medevac, and the Corruptor has a little bit faster movement speed than the medevac, so he could have caught it, but unfortunately I don't know if he would have been able to get the kill. Lalush here looking to fortify his 4th base with a few spine crawlers, and nothing else going on, no more drops. BratOK seems to be just focusing on expanding right now. He has taken his 3rd with the Planetary Fortress, building another command center right below it, likely to fly off into this position and morph into another planetary. And Planetary Fortresses are just so overpowered against Zerg because they can be repaired and they're just, it's just crazy. They need Ultralisks or a ton of Roaches or a lot of Broodlords to deal with it. And that is what's coming up right now. Broodlords are in production, and we've got an Ultralisk Cavern too. So he's going for both ends of the Tech 3 or Tier 3 spectrum, and he's got a healthy army of Broodlords pushing out here. This army needs to be down here though, so we can go and push out. But those Broodlords may want to retreat if that ground army is not there to escort them, because a ton of Marines and these Vikings will just obliterate them. There was a few Corruptors and another drop. Thankfully I didn't miss this one. BratOK is here with another medevac and a few Marines trying to put down a couple spine crawlers, but he doesn't know of this drop, and all this stuff is going to be forced to be cancelled. At the same time, it looks like there's a battle just about to ensue here in the middle. Corruptors push forward trying to take out any Vikings, but the Vikings are too far back with their impressive 9.5 range, or sorry, 9 range. The Corruptors only have a 6 range. But it looks like the Zerg army is going to overwhelm these Terran army right now. He looks to be in serious trouble. Oh no, I could be wrong once again. Wow, some impressive micro. Pulling his units back, killing those Broodlords off, and then pulling forward with the infantry. Very nice job once again by BratOK. I'm very impressed by his bio and tank play. Not a lot of players can actively pull that off. And wow, at the same time, I got to check out what his APM is at, because it's just fantastic. He's at 166, so all the while pushing out with one army and winning a battle in the center of the map. He's dropping down and killing off a bunch of drones at the expansions, and now he's going to take out the gold. So Lalush does not know what he can do. He just can't manage to get anything up and running and going for his way. So all those Broodlords did die. He is reproducing some of them. The Ultralisk Cavern is done. He's upgrading level 2 ground and armor, but the Terran army is pushing in, and I don't know what he's going to have to be able to hold this off. He's got a bunch of roaches just being morphed in now. He's got a few gathering from everywhere else, but these units are just in causing havoc. The tanks are not upgraded, so they're not causing any extra damage, but the Marines and Marauders are already 3-2 with weapons and armor. And at the same time, I won't go over to it, but BratOK is taking his gold with that command center that he was building below his planetary fortress in his third. And wow, another big battle. This time I think Lalush is going to come out on top as the Vikings are forced to pull back from these Corruptors. The Corruptors are taking down the Medivacs, and the Roaches are just clearing up the infantry. There are quite a few more Broodlords back out on the field. Just 4, actually. That's not too many. But corruption going down on these Medivacs as well, causing them to take an extra 20% damage. That is a lot of damage for the Medivacs. But once again, BratOK just gathering all his forces here at his gold expansion. And that is going to be up and running soon. It looks like he is transferring some SCVs over. No, that is Marines. But he does have 2 orbitals that had quite a bit of energy, and well, not quite a bit, but he's pulling down a couple mules, which will help his income. Speaking of income, looking at the tab, we see both players are about even ground. Lalush once again does have more workers, but at this point in the game, that can be can have an adverse effect on your army. Of course, you can't support as much army, especially if you've got a ton of roaches, but he doesn't have too many roaches. But anyways, a little bit off topic there. Spine crawlers coming down, probably reinforcing this base. Yes. So we've got a couple Broodlords and a few spine crawlers coming up here to reinforce his 5th base. His 4th one is up and running 100% now. Actually, no, not 100%. This gas is not being mined, and it looks like we're going to have another battle here at the center of the map. The Vikings are engaging the Corruptors. Corruptors just trying to make way for these Broodlords to get in. A couple more Broodlords are being morphed in, but both armies are kind of retreating, saying, I don't want to fight quite yet. I want to tech up. I want my upgrades to finish, and I want a bigger army. Selfish, selfish people. Just fight for us. Please fight. Anyways. Another command center being produced right below the planetary fortress, looking to expand once again. So BratOK's on 4 bases. Yes, 4 bases, and Lalush is on 5. But the income tab shows that he's not too far behind. He still can keep up with any production that he needs. The Terran army is a little more upgraded than the Zerg army at this time, and it looks like these Vikings are engaging the Corruptors. The Broodlords are just too far behind. If the Terran unit does keep shooting, but no, fungal growth coming down on all these Vikings are going to force all the Vikings to engage right now, and the Broodlords are just making quick work of the Terran army while the Vikings are making quick work of the Corruptors. So it's not going to be long before these Vikings get towards the Broodlords, and it looks like a bunch of these Marauders did make it past. There's a couple Hellions. The Broodlords are dying. They don't have any armor upgrades. They're taking full damage from these Vikings, which is 15 damage times 2, 30 damage per shot. Oh wait, Broodlords probably have base 1 armor. But anyways, that gold expansion did die, and Lalush is in trouble. He is down to 5 base, and now they are taking their 5th base as well. Or sorry, BratOK's taking his 5th base. Vikings pushing out on these overlords a bit, just trying to cause a little bit of damage and maybe supply lock Lalush, but he didn't quite manage to do all that yet. More Vikings and more infantry reinforcing this army. This is just a constant stream of infantry and ships, and I don't know what Lalush can do right now to really battle against it. He's got Flyer Attack 2 upgrading. He's got a couple more Corruptors and Ultralisks out on the field and more in production, but it's not going to be enough. Look how fast those Ultralisks are dying to those Marauders. Marauders with fully upgraded do 26 damage per shot. That's just a lot, and when they're stim, they are less than 1 second per shot, and they quickly take out all of those roaches, all of those Ultralisks, and even the hatchery. And now if BratOK can manage to take away this base, I think Lush is going to have to GG Lalush. Anyway, little off topic. And it looks like the Broodlords are... God, I'm just fumbling over my words right now. So much action going on. And at the same time, Vikings here are picking off a ton of Overlords, and that is going to supply lock him heavily, and there's going to be nothing he can do now. He's got to produce a bunch of Overlords that he doesn't really have all the minerals for. He's only got 800 minerals right now, but he is well under 114 over 78. he is going to have to GG. There is virtually nothing he can do to come back from this. He's down to half a base mining. So, yeah, that is pretty much it. You are delaying the inevitable now. And I'm sure he must know that BratOK has that whole side of the map mining. Oh, he doesn't. He hasn't even been able to get off any scouting information since any of these 3 bases went up. And at the same time, Vikings are still Overlord hunting. So he knows that Lalush is starved for minerals, and if he can just hunt the map for Overlords, he knows that he's going to be able to. Lalush is going to have to spend all of the minerals that he does have on Overlords in order to produce any more army. These Ultralisks are trying to do some damage here to these Marauders, but the Marauders are shooting and getting out of the way of these Ultralisks. But they are going to clean up this small ground force before the Medivacs could get in to help heal. And it looks like, I don't know why, but BratOK is retreating. He's got no damage or no danger to any of his bases. And wow, as if this wasn't too much, he's putting up even another 4 barracks. And wow, that's like 10 barracks at least here. Yep, 10 barracks in production. That's fantastic. That is just so much bio. I don't know what you can really do to handle that. You need a lot of fungal growth, and Lalush does GG finally. So BratOK takes this series 2-0. I was very impressed with Lalush's play up to this point, but there was nothing that he could do against this Terran player to combat this bio. He just did not have the strategy in his mind or in his playstyle that was ready to dish out, and he manages to, like I said, lose that series 2-0. So, yeah, Day 5, Group A coming up tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you then.